I just have one question, Mr. Straw. To what extent was your advice to the Prime Minister in this final phase, the advice you say both in writing and in person, to what extent was it being discussed in the Cabinet, and what was the general tenor of Cabinet opinion?
It wasn't the minutes that I wrote to the Prime Minister. The minutes that I wrote to the Prime Minister were not circulated to the Cabinet. Most of them, and I know you have copies of them, were pretty closely held because they had to be. So, but the wider issues were discussed in Cabinet, and each Cabinet meeting, there are 26 or 27 of them, had discussed Iraq, and there would have been a Cabinet meeting the previous Thursday, which I guess would have been the 13th of March, and the previous Thursday before that, if you were asking me. So Martin, was there a Cabinet or Cabinet committee where my alternative to the Prime Minister was discussed? The answer to that is no.
Were your views in that specific sense known to colleagues, or was this something in a way which was kept between yourself and the Prime Minister, the depth, if you like, of your concerns?
I think they were known to Geoff Hoon, and they would be known to other senior ministers. I can't say for certain, but I may well have talked to Mr. Brown about them. Would they have been known more widely? No, because it is an eternal verity that, I am afraid, members of the Cabinet sometimes, particularly if they are not directly involved in an issue, natter to their friends in the press, and it was extremely important, in terms of the international diplomacy, that we were speaking with one voice internationally and nationally.
Finally, with regard to those who did know in the inner circle, what was their response? Did you find support from them?
Well, I was putting the alternatives forward and my contingency, and the contingency was that we wouldn't get a second resolution, and that we then judged that British involvement in the military action was not going to be feasible because we wouldn't get it through the House of Commons, and partly, I mean, sort of. There was a paradox that, as the international climate moved one way, to a degree certainly the parliamentary climate moved the other way, and whilst at the beginning of March I judged that we would not have got a resolution through the House of Commons, because of the debates in the Security Council with President Chirac, and then the evident effort that we made for the second resolution, the support in the House of Commons started to change, and it was something that the whips were measuring. Day by day,